Hi, good morning, guys. Everyone's okay? Where is Yuan Hao? Okay, we wait for another 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, guys, I think we start first. Yuan Hao can join in later. Okay, yesterday we have been talking about the data processings from the first step until the end. So we have data input from the beginning, and then we need a system that can run the data processing. And at the end, we will have the result as the data output in the way of like financial statement is one of the example. Okay, so for the data processing system, we used to have a individual or separate system for each department. For example, if we are talking about accounting department, then we will have accounting software that is used to record accountings only. While for the HR department, they will have the payroll system that can help to record data for staff employee informations and also their working times, and at the end it will help to calculate their salary on a monthly basis. Okay, so in the previous time, all this system is like separate. They are not connected to each other. So that means each department is have to work on their own for all those informations and data processings and as well as storage. Okay, so to increase the connectivity and also the communications in organizations, so here comes this new system. I don't think this is quite new. It's already some time in the market, but there are a lot of provider for this kind of service. Okay, called Enterprise Resources Planning System. So this system enables those individual and separate departmental system to be connected together. Okay, so it integrate all aspect of the activity, including warehouse. Okay, record means the inventory management, accounting management, HR management. Okay, so they enable all those informations to be recorded in only one system. Okay, so this enterprise resources planning system is very powerful, but at the same time it is very costly and take a lot of time to be actually plan and integrate all your activity into once. So the benefit of it is comprehensive. Okay, it save your time when you are doing your job, and also it enable communications between departments. Okay, so it increased the efficiencies for the management to make decisions, because when, for example, the sales marketing manager can access to the inventory management to track on how is the stock level, so that they can like push the stock that's still in the warehouse. Okay, so based on the information in the system, they can do further to see what can they do to push the sales. Okay, but the cost side, the disadvantage of this system is that it is very costly. It require a specialist, okay, or the expert in the software or programming to actually create and design this system. Okay, so it is if you want to design or create internally inside your organizations, then you have to recruit a whole team of expert in IT and also programming, so that they can, and also they need people that really understand the whole running of the business, then only they can create this system. Okay, so the advantage, we just talked about it. So it's an integrated system. We call it resources planning system. Okay, so it's integrated. It can use in the whole company, just using one system. So it's not complicated. All the employee will get to learn the only one system. Not that the accounting will learn about UBS or SQL. Then the other HR employee will know another system, so it become like conflict. Okay, so this one it improve the communications, so it provide a single view of the company. Then it break the barrier. Yeah. Okay, then data only input and capture once. Yes, it's save a lot of work. Greater visibility and control, increase efficiency. So we have no all this advantage. So there is no like one single software outside. Normally they will customize it based on the need of the uh, company. Yeah. Okay. So you need to find those programmer software provider service, then they will create and customize it based on your need. Okay, and the disadvantage is, of course, this is very high cost. You need not few thousand, but maybe a few 100,000 to actually put this software into your company. And then beside that, after you putting this, installing this software, you have to provide training to your staff. So that one incur another cost to your company. Okay. Then another thing is it requires a lot of time to adapt to this system. Okay? And you need to know your business very well before you can design this system for your use. Okay, complexity is very complex, and sometimes because the system is already there, a little things that you want to change, it take a longer time. Okay, you need to find, because now you're not only changing one department, the small change that you change will affect the whole company. So it's a bit complex. Okay, so there's advantage and disadvantage for this, we call it resources planning system. So I just want you to know that there is a system that can, means fulfills the needs the whole company by using one only. Okay. So this is the leftover slide of yesterday. So now we will start our new slide. Okay, so I will quickly run through this fraud and control, because since it is one of the chapter, but because I want you to like quickly go into accounting, I will just run through this. And you have already done the Enron case, so you maybe have some already picture in your mind that they are frauds. Okay, so how can company control and avoid or reduce it to the minimum? Okay. So define frauds and describe the different type of fraud that you can came across. Okay, discuss who are those person that can possible be the culprit or the person that doing it. Okay, so is it you can raise the red flag or you can get any warning from your system or person. Explain how to detect and prevent company computer fraud. Okay. Okay. Threat to computer. Okay, it's not like last time you're doing all the file manually. Okay, when you keep your data manually, you are exposed yourself to thief. Okay, they might be stolen cases happen in your company, but for computer, it increase the possibility that more threat that going to harm your company, because it's since you are using Wi-Fi, you can't escape from using Wi-Fi. So it's easily expose your computer or your hardware to the outside. So it become more threats that maybe harm your company. So threat can be out of control or can be avoided. So those that can be avoided, we have to try to minimize it, like intentionally crimes, okay, that so you have to be careful when you are hiring employees, so new staff. So how do you like make sure that the integrity of your staff is up to the optimum level? They are not trying to do anything harm to your company. Or human mistake. Okay, how do you reduce human mistake? Those are the track that can be reduced on to minimum. Okay, that out of control natural and political disaster, so that one we cannot control so much, but we will try to like stay away or how to minimize the loss. Okay, we cannot control the happen of those threat, but we can minimize the loss. For example, to have like business continuity plan. Okay, recovery system means when this thing happen to your organization or company, how do you make sure that you can still run your business while this thing happen, and how do you manage to survive if this thing happen? Okay, so hardware shutdown sometimes you can control, but nowadays a lot of time that maybe the Wi-Fi down or anything that is out of your control, then you have to be aware or alert or uh, try to avoid before this threat come to you. Okay. Okay, those threats that can be avoided and out of control. But one of the things that we can, of course, try to minimize is fraud. Fraud is the thing that people do, okay, for their own benefit. Okay. Fraud is gaining advantage over another person. So it is like not accident. It's purposely do. Okay. They have their own motive behind the actions. So try to get monies or want to steal data from the company and sell it to other company, it can be happen. So this is fraud. This is different from all those accidents. Okay, for an action to be a fraud, there must be an intention. Okay, so you have to differentiate whether it is a fraud or it is an accident or mistake. Okay, a false statement intends to deceive or something that induce the person to act. So just now we have talked about that. The person have a motive. Maybe he feel angry. Okay, emotional induced. Okay, he got angry for the managers that maybe trick him or her in a way that he is not happy with. Okay? Or he has other problem with himself, family problems, okay, financial problem that cause him to take those actions to steal or to take away the data or to cause harm to the company. Okay, so that is a motive behind. A justifiable reliance, the person rely on the misrepresentation. Yes, okay, so he will take some advantage or benefit from the actions. There must be a benefit of or advantage. In I don't care whether it is in financially term, okay, method, or he gets financial benefit, or he gets other maybe a benefit from getting higher salary or pay, or getting higher power, okay, position in the company because he want to get promoted, so he helped to do something that is bad. Okay, a loss or injury suffered by a victim, so he caused injury or suffer to other person. So all these action or factor that will contribute to a fraud. So I don't know whether you heard of this, but actually inside an auditor firm, like those big four audit firm, okay, they are one departments, or we call, because auditor have their job on auditing the financial statement. So one of the department inside audit firms is called fraud investigations. Okay, so you can assign to this team where their job roles is just to investigate whether the company has any uh, suspected fraud. So say they have to go on and do the investigations. Okay, then they will provide a report to the company whether yes there is fraud or there is no fraud. Okay, so actually there is a department in an audit firm that provide this service. So in case your company suffering or you suspect a fraud, then you can go to this audit firm and ask for their service. Okay. So next, we will call this all these persons that convicted frauds to be white collar criminals. Okay. So auditor job is not to catch them, but just to investigate. And if there is really a case, then they have to go to the police as well. Okay. Refer to fraud perpetrator. They are often knowledgeable. Yes. Okay. Those white collar criminals, they actually are quite skillful, or they are knowledgeable. They are smart people. Okay. Because they have the knowledge to how to like abuse those rules, how to actually get under table money. Okay, so they knows the culture of the business, and they can try to do something that turn around. Okay, and nobody's know that. Okay, and misappropriations of asset means they abuse of the assets, they steal the assets for other use. Okay, or fraudulent financial reporting. Okay, so this is one of the example of Enron. Okay, they do wrong recordings for the financials. Okay, they make how do we say? We say they dress up the financial statement in a way that they make it profitable. Okay, and try to attract investor to their company. Intentional or reckless conduct, whether by an act or omissions. Okay, omissions mean they miss out the thing they don't want to record in, that result in materially misleading. Okay, as long as it's not we call faithfully represent, then this is a suspected fraud. Okay. Okay, next one. So this is a way to like understand the happens behind frauds. Okay, who will commit this kind of thing, and what opportunities or pressure that induce this person to do those things. Okay, you can see from these fraud triangles. Okay, the three factor that encourage, okay, or will push the person to actually do something bad. Okay, you can see those three factors. One is pressure. Okay, the bottom one, pressure, means the person can have the financial problems inside their family, okay, or own self financial problems. He has already have a high debt with the bank. Okay, he has an unpaid credit card outstanding, a lot of outstanding of credit cards. So he needs to pay off. So he has the pressure to find money, or family problems, or maybe one of the family member has a health problem or sickness that needs a lot of money. Okay, or lifestyle, this person always go for gambling. Okay, so he has this hobby and habit that is contributes to him doing fraud. Okay, so employee pressures, you can see from the bottom on your left hand side. Okay, financial problems, emotional problems, lifestyle, okay, that induce this person to commit fraud. And if let's say the company will also have pressures, okay, financial statement pressure that cause the management, okay, to do a false reporting system. Okay, for example, the company having cash flow problems. Okay, maybe they have a lot of bad debt, means they cannot collect payment from the customer. Okay, so customer always like to default on their payments, and therefore this company is facing cash flow problems. All of their cash flow is already tied up in the inventory. Okay, they need cash flow to run the business, at least to fulfill the administrative expenses. Okay, all those are already fixed. You can't run away. You need to pay your staff. So those needs cash flow. So when the company has a cash flow problems, they will try and think a lot of way and thought of all the method to help them get money. So maybe to make their financial statement beautiful so that they can apply loan from the bank, okay, or they report false profits to let investors be cheated into the company and invest money and pump in new fund. Okay, there's a lot of way. Management characteristic, maybe this is not due to cash flow problems, but the management people's cultures. For like example in Amron, okay, so those management person, if you still remember the video that we watched yesterday, the beginning of the videos, we already see like how's the growing of the CEOs, okay, how he became, from how he grows the backgrounds, he has turned to some kind of person that like to do risky job, okay, try to take risks, and then he like challenges, and he wants to make the company as big as possible. So those are the characteristic of management that can also be one of the possible factor that uh, cause fraud to be happen. Okay, so industry conditions, of course, outside conditions, maybe new law and regulations, like for example, due to MCO, government has closed down some of the sector, or they only limits your business hour, so it costs a lot of competitions and loss of sales and profits to the company. So it induce, okay, out of desperations. The company is already very desperate because of the business is going down, okay, going worse. So they have to think something out of the blue, okay, to help the company gain back the normal operations. So maybe fraud become one of the method, okay, because in those kind of situation, people can be lost. Okay, so pressure from the employee side, okay, the person that commit the fraud, or from the company side where they have the in competitions, industry conditions, and the management characteristic or the financial cash flow problems. Okay, so you must have pressures, motive that cause you to commit fraud. Okay, and after that, you have to have opportunity. Okay, you have the opportunity means you have the knowledge. Okay, and maybe you have a special relationship with the internal management board, so it give you opportunity, a higher chance of doing fraud. Okay, so when you have opportunity, you will commit, then you will conceal, or maybe you have already committed, you need to hide, okay, the thing that you have been doing. So you will commit another fraud to try to conceal. Okay, then it become a habit. Okay, it convert into a habit. So it is the opportunity, a cycle, okay, that encourage you to do more of those bad things. Okay, rationalization means your own reason. Okay, after you doing those things, because when people do bad thing, they have their own reason. Okay, because I am very poor, because my boss treat me very bad. Okay, they ask me to do OT every day until 11, 12. So I don't have my own time. Okay, I feel angry. Okay, or the company fire me without any reason, so I try to revenge on the company. So those are the justification or reason why this person wanted to commit the fraud. Okay, the attitude or lack of personal integrity. So those are the reason that the person provide. Okay, only these three things happens, then maybe the person will go on and make the fraud. Okay, so this is just like telling you what can cause this to happen. Okay, the reason and the pressure behind. Okay, so computer fraud is, you can be a lot of way to try to commit this. Unauthorized use, okay, modifications, copy, destroy the data or software, okay, can also be categorized into computer frauds. Okay, hardest to be detect, yes, it is harder to be detect, because if you copy, you use a pen drive to copy things from your computer, unless your computer like allowed if unless your computer or IT install like a software to block your copying the data, or they needs administrative password to log in to copy data. Okay, unless you have those things, the preventions, okay, the preventive actions, then if no, then it's easy, you just plug in your pen drive, then you can able to like copy all those things and use for your own. So it is not that hard to commit, and even sometimes people are not aware of that your own personal action is already one of the computer fraud. Okay, maybe you're not like you're not purposely do it, okay, but you do it like you do not know that this can be a computer fraud. Okay, calculating loss is difficult, yes, you do not know how to calculate the loss, and law enforcement cannot keep up, because computer fraud is like a very creative sector. People can be very creative to how to log in and hack the computer. Okay, there is a news I heard the day before. I have an ex-students, who studying in New Era, and my friends as well. They have bank account with CIMB. Okay, CIMB. I don't know whether friends or family around you facing this problem recently. Okay, my ex-student, he received notifications of SMS telling him that his account has been debited with a few thousand. Okay, but he didn't do the transactions. It's not by him. So the company, I don't know what happened to CIMB Bank, but it's not one case that I heard. Another friends is a bit lucky. The bank called her, telling her that the bank is having problems, so it might be means not the real person that try to log in the system and take away the money. Okay, so there are some risks. So the bank asked her to like change the password and reset the password. So this is actually happening to CIMB Bank. So I don't know whether this is an internal fraud or outside people trying to hack into the system, but this is the latest news I heard. Okay, experienced by my friends and also ex-students. So it's quite dangerous. You are trying to prevent, but you cannot make sure 100% it is safe or zero computer fraud. It is impossible. Okay. So law enforcement cannot keep up. There's too many creative way to hack computer. Okay. So classification of computer fraud, there can be input fraud, output fraud, and processors computer instructions. So I just want you to like know what is those fraud about. Okay. Inputs means when you input data, okay, there is a fraud. A man used desktop publishing to prepare bill for office supplier that will never order or deliver. Mean you try to copy, okay, the invoice, okay, and copy the receipt, okay, and then you try to steal money. Okay, this order is never fulfilled or never by any customer. Okay, you just simply bill one unknown person. Okay, anyone, maybe your friend names, and then you send the bill to the accounting departments. And if the bill is not big, maybe it's a small expenses, a parking, a meal expenses, because you have meal allowance, then the departments, the accounting will not like really check this. Okay, maybe they don't care about a small amount, then it will let the bill go through. So it became a fraud. Okay. Railroad employee enter data to scrap over 200 railroad car, but they remove the car from the system and then repaint and sell them off. Okay, so this is example. You try to do fraud from input side. Okay, processors. Okay, is about software. You unauthorized system use, or you try to steal the computer time for doing your own thing. For example, insurance company install software to detect abnormal system activity and found the employee using them to run illegal gambling website. Okay, if you use company things to do your own business, it became one of the fraud. Okay, two accountants, so be aware of this. You might not know that what you are doing is actually a fraud. Okay, there is no a clear rules or regulations showing you what is frauds. Okay, two accountant without the appropriate access right hack into those stock option system and steal the information of the investor, and then tries to transfer their account fund into their own. Okay, so it also one of the fraud, stealing people informations. Okay, stealing customer informations and put into your own use for your own business outside of this company. So it is one of the fraud. Okay, instructional frauds includes using copying company software, okay, using software in an unauthorized manner, or you develop software to carry out unauthorized activity. Okay, this one you need some specialized, or you need to be expert in programming knowledge. Okay, so they will create a false website to send. When you click into this website, maybe they send you virus. Okay, so those are computer instruction fraud where you need programming knowledge. Okay, data. Okay, this one I will give example of pirated CD. Okay, last time we have a lot of those pirated CD. Nowadays we still have we can still see maybe one or two those stored in pasar malam. So those are data fraud. Okay, they copy, okay, and sell it to other person. Okay, so this one is one of the data fraud. Okay, output is, imagine you have the financial statement printed out or you already finish your financial statement. Okay, it is used or copied by other persons. Okay, the output is being used for harmful reason. Okay. Okay, so fraud is not like a very big chapter in this subject. So I just want you to like have a picture what is fraud and what is the possible things that you are already doing but you are not aware of. Okay, it's actually a fraud. So let's try to do this quiz. And know some of the important term of this thing lah. Okay, so now it's 3:36. Okay, try to do this. Answer and put your answer inside a paper. You just write A, B, C, D. It's just a quiz. When you finish, you tell me. I move to the next slide. Anybody know where's Yuan Hao? He's not coming to the class, not joining. Jumbo, know what happens to your partners?
I don't know.
No, he didn't tell you lah. He's not attending today.
Didn't.
Okay, do this quiz.
Miss, we can't hear you.
Okay, for question number 2, cheating and lapping is a term that refer to a fraud. Okay, lapping is when, for let's say your company have a few customer, okay, they have different payment time, so they will give you money, okay, pay you, and you use the money from customer A, for example, you take the money from your own use, okay, then you did not credit the money into the bank, okay, you don't bank in, you don't help your customer to bank in, so you take the money, and when the second customer pay you, for example B, okay, pay you, you use the money to cover up your action of A. So it's like a continuous cycle until you manage to take up your own money and cover up the whole. Okay. So when B paying you, you use the money to cover the account of A. Okay. After you the due dates means the bank, the customer C pay, you take the money from customer C to cover the account of customer B, account receivable. So you cover until you have your own money to cover up your actions. Okay. Cheating is a similar but it related to check bank in time. Okay. You receive the, for example, you have bank account for bank A, B, C. Okay, because of the clearing time is different, the check clearing time is different. Okay, so when you have you deposit money, okay, you take, for example, the bank A, they allow you to write a check. Okay, so you write a check from bank A, and you take the check for your own. Okay, okay, but you take the check to bank into bank B. Okay, you take the check to bank into bank B. Okay, then you already okay, it's a bit complicated. Wait, you have 3 bank. Okay, so bank A allow you to write a check, so you use the check to deposit to bank B. Okay, but you withdraw the money from bank B for your own use. Okay, because you do not need to clear for bank A first, there is some time. So you write another check from bank B to cover the outstanding of bank A. Okay, so it's similar to lapping, using the different time of the clearing for your own use. So this is skipping. Okay, and D is lapping. It's not so common now, okay, but it's the terms referring to those actions. So which type of fraud is associated with 50% of all auditor lawsuit? Okay, just think of law auditors. Okay, auditors' job is to check on financial reporting. So the answer is B for second question. Okay, finish the 3 questions here. All of you finish, right? So we go to question number 1. Can I have your answer? So which of the following is a fraud in which employee use the company computer time to run their own data processing? Use the time of,
B.
yes, B. Okay. So inputs, when you try to input data, something is wrong. B is you use the company processor, the company system to do your own thing. Okay. Instructional is you copy, or you have to have some software knowledge to actually create a force, okay, or take the software for your own use. Okay, so B, second question is B. Third, which of the following statement is not correct, false?
B.
Okay, not correct. Jumbo say B.
Yeah.
Okay, the psychological profile of white-collar criminals are significantly different from those of the general public. Okay, this is for, yes, correct. Answer is B. Normally, they are the same. Okay, they are like us. Okay, finished. Okay, continue. Okay, you can leave out question number 7. No need to do question number 7. Done? Not yet. Okay. Have you guys tried to install the accounting software? Managed to install?
Yes.
Okay. Busy okay? You already installed it? Okay, good. Finish? Okay. So let's discuss the question. Number 4, which of the following conditions are usually necessary for a fraud to occur? So choose all correct answer. So all are correct answer except
Except C.
yes. So except C, we need those things to motivate a person to commit a fraud lah. Which of the following is not an example of computer fraud? Okay. Which one is not? Thief of money, obtaining information illegally, failure to perform preventive maintenance, unauthorized modifications of software. Which one?
C. Failure to perform.
Failure to perform preventive maintenance. So it's not an example, it's just like a weakness lah. You did not take the actions to prevent. So number 6, which of the following causes the majority of computer security problem? What do you think? Which one is the most?
Human errors.
Human error, software error, natural disaster, power outage. What do you think?
Human errors.
Yes, you are correct. Human error is actually the majority of the security problems. So you can skip number 7. So this is not our rules. The rules is applicable to US lah. Okay. Number 8, which of the following control procedure is most likely to deter lapping? So the terms refer to the taking the money of customer and then you use other customer to cover up. Okay, so which one is the possible actions preventions of this thing to happen? Encryption means you install password lah.
The periodic rotation of duties.
Yes, donkey is the answer. Okay, you rotate the duty of your employee or you segregate their role and jobs. You cannot authorize one person to have the powers to sell things at the same time to collect money at the same time bank in. Okay, you cannot allow one person to do all those jobs unless you have a very high trust, okay, on this person. Which of the following is the most important, basic, and effective control? What do you think? Enforced vacations, why this is inside the option is because they think that vacations, giving holidays to employee is actually one of the way that you can check on either this person is having suspected actions or not. Okay, because when this person is not inside the company, then you can check on those work done by him. Okay, so that is why enforced vacation become one of the options. Okay, the answer is C, segregation of duty. Means why, that is why you have departments, you have different person doing different job roles. Okay, so it's like our governments, we have executive, we have law enforcement team, and we have regulations team. Okay, there must be independence between all those departments. Okay, some level of independence, some level of communications. So segregate means separate the duty. Okay, you divide your job. Okay. Last question. Once fraud has occurred, which of the following will reduce frauds losses? Select all correct answer.
A, B, C.
Okay, regular backup of data and program, insurance, contingency plan, segregation. Which of the following will reduce? Okay, answer is all except donkey. Okay, so we are done with this chapter. Okay, we are not doing any more about fraud. Okay, so we will continue our next chapter, but before that, 10 minutes break. Come back by 10:10. Okay, let's move on. Okay, next chapter we are going to see on system documentation technique. So it's concerning on the data flow. So you will see a lot of diagram like this. So you will know what is the symptom or what of the symbol. Okay, what is those round symbols and rectangular or the square means. Okay. So we will see what is this diagram used for, and we will try to draw this diagram based on the descriptive statement. So for example, I tell you what is this department doing, what is process inside. So can you manage to draw a diagram of the data flow, a simple one, okay? So you can look at the picture clearly, because always diagram is easier to understand comparing to long segment. Okay. So this is called system documentations. It means you draw and you make it simple in a diagram form so that we can look at how the process run and where the data flow from and to where. And is there any weakness in the system that we can try to reduce the mistake or improve the working of the system. Okay. So we will try to look into a few diagram, and you were able to read and understand the meaning of all the symbol used in a diagram, okay? And also to identify any weakness and strength and recommend solution or improvement. Okay. So you will see data flow diagram. Just now I show you once. This is called data flow. So each sequence means from the start, from the beginning, okay, you will see data flow from the sources, okay, into one of the process, and then flow towards the destinations. Okay, so I already show you the meaning of the symbol. The first square refer to a data source, and then the movement or the line, the arrow show you the data flow, and the round shape show you the process. And if you see the data store H, okay, is by using just two lines, and in the middle you write data store. Okay, that means the storage of data. Okay, this is called data flow number one, a graphical description of data sources, data flow, and transformations process. Okay, so how the data flow from the sources to the destinations. Okay, what happens during the process? Okay, and where is the storage? Okay, then the second one we will look a few, but the focus will always on the data flow and the program or system flow chart. Okay, I will not look more into document flow chart, okay, because now we are more towards using system and program already. So well, for the manual documents, maybe a less, okay, not so popular now. Flowchart, which is a graphical description of a system. Okay, just now the first one is data, the second one is the system. There are several types of flowchart. Okay, document flowchart show the flow of documents. Okay, from the first, what documents you need. Okay, and then where do you store the documents. Okay, then the second one is the system, show the relationship among the input, processing, and output. And the last one is program flowchart, show the sequence of logical operations of a computer performing, okay, to execute a program. Okay, just now, first one, the most important one, the data flow diagram. So you must remember a few things. The first one, this is the diagram that show the flow of the data. For example, I tell you a process of collecting payment from customer. Can you draw me a data flow diagram showing how your company collect payment from your customer? So you have to identify where is the data source. Okay, where is the data from? Is from customer, because you collect payment from customer. So then you have to know what are the process involved. Okay, Of course, the main is collect payment. Collect payment become a main process. So if you want to go deeper, you can say, okay, first you will collect, he will bank in the check, or he will write you a payment in the form of maybe overdraft, okay? Or he will pay you by cash. So you can go deeper. Then after you collect the payment, what do you do with the payment? Okay, you will provide customer a receipt, okay? Generate receipt, okay, become another process. So every process, after you identify, you will write down, okay? Write down the process, write down the source, and then where the process of the data go in the end, okay? Is it you update or you record your general ledger, or you update your accounting software, so it become your destinations. So where do you store it? Okay, in the software or accounting file, okay, or accounting database. So that is the storage. So we do not draw straight away when we know about the process. We need to take out the important process and then identify, is it important or not? Then we will see how the flow, then only we draw this. So this is called data flow diagram. Okay, example. Okay, example of this customer making payment process. Okay, so in a data flow diagram, we have a context diagram, means the overall summary, okay, the most simple one. For example, collecting payment, the context diagram is customer collect payments, maybe after that update your account. So it becomes only a very basic one. And if you go deeper, you can go to level 0, level 1, level 2 of the diagram. So now we just look at level 1. Oh, Yuan Hao? He just joined in. Is it? Okay, so we continue. So for example of this diagram, when you collect payment, this example is customer A. Okay, so the data is customer payment. Okay? And the process is, okay, just now we say you collect payment or you process payment. Okay, then after you process payment, what do you do? Okay, you have two data. Okay, one is the money deposit, so you put into bank. Another data is those telling you, okay, he already paid this invoice. So you call remittance data or the invoice data. Okay, so you have to update your receivable, not off the payment. Okay, that is your second process. Okay, then the last, you already update your receivable account, then it sent to your credit managers. Okay, so this is one of the simple, maybe it's not the end. Okay, there are others process after credit manager. Okay, but this is one of the simple data flow diagram that show you how the company process payment. Okay, so update receivable, you have one storage of data, okay, called account receivable or your accounting software. This is a level 1 or level 0. This is called level 0 diagrams. Okay, you will see like complicated one. You see, okay, you will go deeper, but first we have to understand this diagram first. Okay, know what the symbol name. Okay, remember the square means the data source or destinations. Okay, welcome Yuan Hao. What happened?
Oversleep.
Having party yesterday. Okay, so we are talking about this data flow diagram. Okay, it enables you to look at how the company is doing the process. Okay, easy to understand. So diagram is a way to show you in a clearer form. Okay, compared to a statement or telling you, you cannot imagine. So now we use diagram to show you. So one of the job of accountants, or as long as you have your work related to accounting information system, you have at least some basic knowledge of how the company is running the work. Then data flow diagram is one of the method that you can use to analyze or identify the important process or the data. Okay, so this is called data flow diagram. You know how? Okay, so data flow diagram, we have a few important symbols: the sources, the process, the storage, and destinations. So very simple one. Square, round, and the arrow showing the data flow. So you need to name each one of them. Okay. Data sources, where the data come from? Is it from customer? So you name it. The data sources is customer. And when customer pay you, is the payment shown the data flow. So you need to name the data flow as customer payment. And you identify the first process is process payment. Then you name the process as process payment. So each one of the symbol have its own name, okay, referring to whether it is a process or it is a data source or storage. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3, 4. Just remember 4 symbol: arrow, data flow; square, sources; and process is referring to a round shape; and also the storage. Okay. So just now I have mentioned about context diagram. Okay, context diagram is the summary level. So for example, if let's say this one is payment, a payroll processing system, in the term of context diagram, you will only have one process. Okay, the main process that you want to investigate. Okay, for example, payroll. Or if you want to investigate customer payment, then in the middle, you will just write customer payment process. Okay. Then you will identify all those sources and the destination. Okay. So in between, you will give the flow. Okay. What are the data flow? So this is the context, the easiest form. Okay. You want to identify the process for customer order. Then in the middle, the process is customer ordering system. Okay, or customer order system. Then you identify, okay, where the order came from and then where the order go to. So those are the destinations and also sources. So you won't see any data storage yet, okay, in the context diagram. Okay, so this is an overview, okay, helicopter view of the whole system. Okay, so remember, this is called context diagram. Okay. So this is the narrative description. Means he described to you, okay, what is the process, okay, going on inside a payroll processing department. So you have to translate this narrative description, or people tell you, okay, what the company doing, blah, 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 blah. Then you have to turn those narrative description into a diagram. So first, you identify the main process first. Okay, you have the context diagram already, then you can go into deeper and then draw the level 0 data flow diagram. Okay, we have 3 levels. The first, context diagram. Okay, context. Second, level 0. Okay, figure 3.6 show you the level 0. You will find it, okay, process number 1, 1.0, process number 2, 2.0, 3.0, and forward. Okay, and go on and go on. And if you want to go even deeper to see, okay, maybe some of the process you did not mention in your level 0 because you think this is not so much important, but it is also carry out inside the department, then you can go into deeper to process data flow into level 1. Okay, so you will see 2.1. Okay, this 2.1 refer to the process payroll. Okay, if you refer back to this level 0, 2.0 process pay employee. Okay, so this person going into deeper to pay employee process to see what other process is involved. Okay, so actually he aware he checked out that, okay, there is another process called prepare cash disbursement. Okay, but it doesn't include in the 2.0. Okay, we will try to do exercise on this. Okay. Okay, for example, you read this and try to understand this payroll. When employees are hired, they complete a new employee form. When a change to an employee payroll status occurs, such as a raise or a change in the number of exemptions, the Human Resources Department complete an employee change form. Okay, identify the process and identify the source. So what is the process here? From this statement, can you identify the process? Okay. So you can know from this statement that, okay, update employee status, okay, maybe one of the process, okay, because it's telling you that when there is a new employee or there is a changes in the employee informations, you need to update the system. So maybe the process is referred as update employee informations, okay, or update employee record. Okay, the name of the process you can decide yourself, but it must make sense to this process. Okay, so each of the process you name and you list down first. No need to go into this yet. Okay, you can write out the process in word form. Okay, and then identify who are the party involved, means the data source and destination. So here, employees involved. Okay, your HR involved. Okay. Do you see any storage here? So you will see maybe payroll is a storage. This form I use to create or update the record in the employee and payroll file. Okay, so employee and payroll file is a storage. So you write it down. Okay. The second one, some SNS employees are paid at a salary, but most are hourly workers. Okay, so the second paragraph explains to you the process of calculating the salary or the payment to customer. To your employee. So your employee is paid by hourly. At the end of each pay period, department manager send the time card. Okay, now you identify another party involved, means all the departments. Okay, don't care what department, as long as you have employee, you have to send in the time card to payroll department. Okay, so you have two departments here. Departments of others functions and payroll departments. Okay, and then what's the data involved? Time cards. Okay, you have to send in the time cards. Okay, process the payment of employee salary. So the payroll clerk will use the time card data, okay, data from the employee files and the appropriate tax table to prepare check for each employee, means to process payment. Yeah? And the clerk also prepare a two-part payroll register showing gross pay deduction. Okay, just explain to you, the clerk need to do a gloss payments and also a deduction for tax. Okay, so this might not be like a really you can also like avoid this in your level 0 context diagram. You can put it in your level 1. So you have to decide what are the important process first. Okay. Then the clerk update the employee file to reflect. So update employee file to reflect each employee current earning. So it's linked to the first paragraph. First paragraph show you update employee details information. Second paragraph also they will update the employee earnings. So you are linked to the first process. Okay. So first step, you have to identify process, important process and party involved. So the second paragraph show you employee, okay, you have departments, manager, you have payroll departments, and how you process the employee payment. Okay, so if you refer to this, you will see process 1.0, update employee payroll or file. Okay, how do they do it? Okay, human resources complete the employee forms or update the employee change form, and then the process is called update employee payer file, and the data will be stored into employee and payroll files. Okay, the direction of the data flow error. Okay, you will see the arrow. So the direction of the arrow show where's the data go. If you see two-way arrow, it means the data will go into employee files. Human resources, HR, will also retrieve the file, okay, retrieve the information from the file. So it's a two-way direction of the flow. Okay, just be careful when we are labeling the diagram. The data flow you must name except the data flow between a process and a storage. Okay, look at the employee payroll file. Okay, you will see the flow of the data from process 1.0, 2.0 until 4.0, 3.0. The data flow from the process into the storage or out from the storage to the process. There is no label. Okay, there is no label. Okay, you do not need to label the data flow between a storage, okay, and a process or a destination. As long as it's go into the data storage, it is assumed that people know that, okay, what is inside this employers or this employee or payroll file. So you do not need to label again, because we know from the beginning, okay, new employee form and employee change form is going to be stored into employee file. Okay, so that one you need to be alert of. Okay. So the second paragraph tell you how the HR pays employee. So you will see departments is the data source. They send to HR the time cards. Okay, and the process, you can call it pay employee or process employee payments or calculate employee salary. Is depend on how you define, but the process meaning is the same. Okay, so you collect time cards, HR collect time card from the departments, okay, and then you pay employee, okay. So after you process the employee salary, okay, the result is you have check, okay, where you will give to employees, and you have the payroll check, then you will instruct the bank to make payment. And lastly, you will have the disbursement voucher that you will need to update general ledger. Okay, so 3 results from the second paragraph. And of course, you need to identify the destinations. Okay, employee, banks, and general ledger. Okay, the destination can be a storage. You see, like in the update general ledger, the data will flow into general ledger file. Okay, you can use others name. You can use, like, for example, update payroll files, or you can update your payroll system, or you update account system. Okay, if you don't want to use general ledger. Okay, but if this statement already tell you what they update, you just copy from the statement what they use. You don't change the term. Okay. Every pay period, the payroll clerk use the data in the payroll rows to prepare a payroll summary report for Susan so that she can control and monitor labor expenses. Okay, so this one you will see in here. Okay, so it is not the first level. It's not the level 0. Okay, you will see further down here. Okay, so you have to read the process and then try to draw. So you will not know by not trying it. So let's try a simple one. Let's go to the activity. Let's find one activity and do. I say. Okay. I try to find one activity for you to try on this data flow. Okay. Okay, I show you from this quiz and exercise. Can you see? Okay, let's try this activity by drawing out the This 3.9 activity. The local college require that each student complete an online registration request form. Okay. The system check the account receivable subsystem to ensure that no fees are owed. Next, for each course, the system check the student transcript to ensure that he or she has completed the course prerequisite. Then the system check class availability, and if there is a room, add the student's social security number to the class rate, means they add in the student. Okay, the report back to the student show the result of registration process. If the student's owe fee, a bill is sent and the registration is rejected. So if prerequisites for a course are not fulfilled, the student is notified and that course is not registered. If the class is full, the student's request is annotated with course closed. Okay. If a student is accepted into a class, then the time, days, and room are shown. Student fee and total tuitions are computed and shown on the report. Student fee data is interfaced into the course receivable system. So when registration is complete, course enrollment report are prepared for the instructor. Okay, I want you to try to do context diagram first, okay? The summary overview means the main process. So by reading the statement, what do you think is the main process of this? What do you think is the main process? College. And then what is the college doing with the student?
Receive the payment.
Hmm? Can
Receive
you
the payment.
identify the main first? Okay, the
Mm.
context diagram is the overview. What is this statement all together? Can I say this is a registration process? Okay, so if you read properly, the 3 paragraphs showing how the college is going to approve the registration of student. So when student come in, register, the college will ask the student to complete the registration request form online. Then the system will check based on the form whether this student has paid the course fee previously. If there are any outstanding payment that have not been settled yet, then if okay, the system will check against whether the student has been completed all the prerequisite course. Mean he want to register for this subject, he have to complete others prerequisite subject before this. Okay, then the third step, the system will check the class availability. Means when the class has limited to of numbers of students, then if available, then he is allowed to join in. Okay, so 3, checking before the system will allow the student to be enrolled into this class. Okay, so I will say this is the course registration process, or you can say this is a student registration process. Okay, so as long as you're referring to the processing of registrations, okay, then the result will shown to the student. Okay, then only a bill is sent. Okay, if the student owe a fee, then the system will prompt to send a bill to the student to settle and the registration is rejected. Okay? Or if the student haven't fulfilled the prerequisites course, then again the student will be notified and the course is reject, means he will not be registered into the class. Okay, so this is like a process of registrations. Okay, so the context, you can try to draw it. You see macam can use this whiteboard. Can you see my whiteboard?
Yes.
Try to use this whiteboard. So maybe you can draw the first round shape as, can I write here? Okay. Student registration process. Okay. So I name it as student registration process. Okay, you can try on your own. I think I need. Not easy to use. I cannot go back to my words. Try to redo. Okay, I don't want to move already. So, okay. So you identify the main process as student registration process. Okay, then you go further and then you identify, help me to identify who are the party involved in this. Okay, where the data come from and where the data go to. Okay, we do the context diagram first. Means you only identify the main process and the party and the flow. Give me one sources. Maybe I draw here. What are the sources that you can identify? What else? Who are the party that involved? Let's try this question. Okay, I give you 5 minutes. You try to find me the source. Okay, now you already know this is a registration process. The source means maybe there is a party that helped to do this. Is it the HR department or registrar department? Okay, because this statement only tell you the local college. Okay, the system check. Okay. Who is the system? Okay, the system belong to which department that do this thing. Okay, then what are those data flow that involve? Okay, so the first one, you need who to give you what. Okay, so you identify the data flow including, for example, the first one is the request form. Okay, online registration request form. So where do it come from and where do it go? you try yourself first. You just do the context diagram. Okay, I just want you to give me the data's destinations and the flow and the source only. And all of this is connected to the process. Okay, you just need to identify the direction of the data and who is responsible for that. Okay, try 5 minutes to do it. Can you? Have you tried? Okay. Tell me one of the data source, the most important. Who are the party that involved in this process of student registration? Where is the data come from? Who fill in the form?
Students.
Yes, Yan Hao, you want to say something?
Is it registration department?
Okay, you can put as students or student registration departments. I can accept. Okay, so you go to this whiteboard. Okay, so first, students, or you can put registrar department. Okay. So what are the process? No, I mean the data flow from students or register department. First one, into student registration process. What data can you say that is flow from the student or the registrar department to the into the process? Let me copy. Okay, so I copy here so you can see. Jumbo, you can draw one, you know. Tell me one of the data flow, the first one, that from student to student registration process. Jumbo?
Yes.
Yes. Give me the first data flow that I already draw the line to you.
Data flow.
Can you be louder?
You mean data flow?
Yes. I already give you an arrow from the arrow from students into student registration process. So what is the data flow? The first one.
Mm,
You can actually draw on my whiteboard. You try. Okay, right here. Can you? Got it? Read from this one. Complete what?
Online registration.
Yes, online registration request form. So you add in here. Online registration form. Okay. Okay, smaller. Okay. Okay, what else? The second one. So remember, in a context form, you only needs to identify the main process. Okay. Other than that, you just draw the square, okay, the data flow. What else do this process do? The system check the account receivable subsystem to ensure that no fees are owed. Next, for each course, the system check the student transcript to ensure that he or she has completed the course prerequisite. Okay, so checking, all this checking is inside the process. So I don't need you to draw another circle because that is already level 0, means a deeper level. So in the context diagram, you only draw one process. So all those checking process is actually inside registration process. So what happened after system check? So they will need to give notifications, or they will decide whether the course is registered or rejected, right? So again, you will have this moving into students. Okay. Checking of the system will tell you okay, if the student owe fees, okay, you see the report back to the student show the result of registration process. Okay. So you can write here result of registration, whether the process is completed or not. Okay. So this is the data. Each of these line give you the data flow. Okay, flow from the student where he fill in the online registration form. Then the process will tell the student the result of registration. Okay. And then where is the result go to beside to student, the result of registration, whether it is successful or student have to further pay their bill. After that, you read. Okay. Okay, is prerequisite for a course are not fulfilled, the student is notified and that course not registered is under result of registration. So if the class is full, the student request is annotated with course closed. If a student is accepted into a class, then the daytime room are shown next to the course number. Okay, student fee and total tuition are computed and shown on the report. Student fee data is interfaced to the account receivable subsystem when registration complete. Okay, course enrollment report are prepared for the instructor. So now you have another. Wait. Okay. Now you identify your destination. Okay. Your instruction, your instructor. It means your lecture lah. Okay. So instructor is your end result. Okay. Your end destination. And what is the data flow in between process to instructor? It is called you can label it as enrollment report. Okay. Enrollment report. And don't forget, if there is storage, data store means the all those information from where is it goes to, you can also identify in this paragraph. Okay. If you notice, they mention the receivable subsystem where they will check all those whether the student have outstanding bill or not. So they will have to go to the system and retrieve the data. So I will draw the one's data. Okay, I draw here. Okay. And then I put my account receivable. Okay. I retrieve the data from here. So I will draw this two direction arrow. Okay. But I don't need to label this because I know I retrieve the data of the student payment outstanding from the account receivable. And if you notice also, the system will go into the file of student's transcript to check whether he has passed the course prerequisite or not. So I will also include another file that keep students transcript here. Okay. Then again, I will draw the line. Because the students processing process only needs to retrieve data from transcript. So I only draw a one directions arrow showing the process is only getting data from the file, but not storing it into it. But while for the account receivables, okay, you will see that at the beginning, they will retrieve the data from account receivable to see whether the student have any outstanding. And later on, after completed the registration, okay, you will see that student fee data in interface to the account receivable subsystem. Okay, they will also update the account receivable if, let's say, the student is actually already paid, okay, but not shown. Okay. Okay, so this is one of the example of context diagram. So you have to able to translate the narrative statement into this diagram. At least you have to know the context diagram and also level 0. Okay, so we will try to do level 0 next class. Okay, but now you can have a break and then we come back for the tutorial question. Be ready to your tutorial question. Okay. So we come back at 11:20 or 25, 11:25. Okay, so be ready to your tutorial question. Yuan Hao, have you installed the accounting software?
Yes.
Okay, so it's inside your computer and laptop already, no problems, You can open up the software. Can you open?
I try first because I'm in, haven't tried it yet.
But you already install.
Ah.
Okay, okay. So maybe you try whether you can open the software.
Okay.
Okay, class, you can open the tutorial question and have you tried on this question number 2 yesterday?
Yes, little bit.
Okay, let's discuss. Basie and Jumbo. Okay. The following information was taken from the Netflix financial statement. Okay. So consolidated statement of operation showing you the sales. Okay. Only the sales amount. Dollar value are in thousand of US dollar. Okay. For Netflix, sales is the product of the number of subscribers and the price charged for each subscription. So what observation can you make about the previous 3 years of Netflix sales? Okay, let's comment on this. We start from, give your comments. What can you say about the sales?
Here is keep going up.
Okay.
And in this, actually actually yesterday teacher said this annual report. I have to go to find this annual report for the next year.
Next year?
Because this question only until 2016 ma. Then I go to find the 2017. That's all the figure is really appear in the real annual report. So I go to find this. Is it the figure is real? Then I find yes.
Okay, very good. So you make an effort to actually go and investigate, okay, the sources of this information. Okay, if you read from the table, you will see the sources. So they say that this source is from United States Security and Exchange Commissions. So it's like our Bursa Malaysia lah. Okay, so US has their own Bursa Malaysia that keep all the financial report or annual report of the public listed company, I believe. Okay, so what do you find inside the annual report?
Inside the annual report, in the sales.
Yes,
because
just comment on the sales first.
This three figure is keep going up and show the statement for the sales is increasing statement, and after that the next year in this statement can be predict the sales will be going up because this is only 8 million of the what's the call sales for the Netflix, and in 2016 the Netflix has keep going in to promote their service in the internet. So not only internet, in the TV also have. So the sales can be predict is will going up again. And in 2017, this is really is going up.
Okay, so you only have the result until 2017, correct? So for the 4th consecutive year, the performance of sales is keep increasing. Okay, any other to add? Let's proceed to Sanjita. Anything you want to say about the sales?
Almost same with what Yuan Hao said. It increased every year, and I think in future also it will increase.
Okay. Any reason why you think this is?
Because for example, now during MCO also the theater is not open. So when many movies have been released in Netflix and Amazon, so many people they subscribe to this and they watch here. So I feel that maybe in another thing is Netflix is like, for example, 4 users can use, but you only pay 55 ringgit. But you go to theater, 1 person, 20 ringgit. So some people might feel this is better, they can watch because this you only pay for 1 month once. So maybe in future, many people might subscribe and just watch this.
Okay, so based on your opinions, is that now people are prefers to go online and watch, and due to the subscriptions cost is not so high comparing to watching movie in the theater or cinema. Okay, and also because of MCO time now. So before MCL is already increasing. Maybe people nowadays don't like to watch TV. I myself also seldom turn on the TV already nowadays. Okay, we always like watch through our handphone. Okay, so
Yeah, because of the one of the reason because of the Netflix have taking the what's it called, the some of the movie is only be taken by the Netflix, that only will be shown in Netflix.
yeah,
The
that's
reason why we
I
don't like the TV, because TV no movie can be shown.
I never know until my friend told me, okay, this movie is only produced by Netflix, as only shown in Netflix. So they have their own movie and drama, maybe show production team, okay, to produce movie and entertainment for Netflix or audience only. Okay. And Jumbo, anything you want to say about the 3 year sales of Netflix and your comments?
Actually, their sales is increased. Beside this, their share price also increased.
Okay, so you go and check their share price.
Yeah.
Can you share about how the share price movement?
I've checked past 3 years report only.
Okay,
So last I checked is 2018.
18. Okay.
Yes, 2018. The share price, the share price ringgit 78 like that, almost like that. But now current,
Dollar. It means USD dollar
yes, US.
or $2.
Hmm.
Okay, then
But now current, the share price is $6 something.
$6 from 2018 until now. It increased about $4 lah.
Many of them also invest in this Netflix also. They are, how to say, the company profile is quite good because of their sales. So subscription more, investor also look at the company's profit or loss statement is good functioning. So many of them also invest in this company.
Mm-hmm. Any information that you collected?
This information only I collected.
Any others? Support your comments on the positive outlook of this company.
Positive.
Okay, we lost Paisy. I just going to ask her, then she disappeared. Okay, for
They
this,
say her internet not stable.
yeah, I can feel that because I keep losing her once a while. She coming back again. Okay, it's okay. Hope she managed to join in later. Okay, for this first question, yes, you can obviously see from the figures that the sales is increased year by year on year basis from 2014 to 2016. And based on the research by Yuan Hao, the sales also increased in 2017. So I believe the sales are still a very positive means outlook for Netflix for the coming future. Okay, near future lah. But in the further futures, I cannot be confirmed because there will be more competitors coming in, and also all the free websites from China. Okay, you know, I also use it sometimes. Okay, then of course you can also count the percentage of increase if you want to check whether the degree of increment is the same or not. I mean how much increase from year on to year. Okay, so if you count from 2015 to 2014 means how much increase. It's actually increased around 30 something percent. Okay, I count it Okay, I found out that it's increased from 2014 to 2015 is 23%, while from 2015 to 2016 is 30%. So the degree of increment is also improving. Not that the sales improve only, the degree of improvement is also increasing. So it become a very optimistic feeling for the company that, okay, in the future I will be also improving more. So but will the degree of improvements going to be going to be continue or not? Will the increment from 2016 to 17 more than 30%? I'm not sure whether Yuan Hao got checked or not. Okay, because it became a pressure also when you want to also increase your degree of improvement. Means I want a 35% increase from the 2016 to 2017. Is it possible or not? Okay, so from this checking, I will say that not only that the sales improve, more sales, more subscription, maybe more subscriber or more service provided, so they increase their sales base. Okay, so it helps to push the sales up. Okay, and then not only that, they also maybe I would say increase their service, not just providing the Netflix TV. Maybe they have other entertainments new service coming in, so it will also give them a more sales platform for them to perform. Okay, so but it is not certain whether the sales is going to improve that much every year. Okay, so this is what you can say about the sales. And what you are saying about the future based on this historical data, okay, is another form of what do you say? Analysis is analysis and forecast of the future based on the historical data. So you just looking at the past 3 years information on sales, then you forecast, okay, you predict that the future is going to be better than the past. So this is a positive outlook, but based on historical data, there are weakness and strength. Okay, weakness is that maybe future is not like 100% same as the past, or maybe another means another threat coming in. Okay, for example, COVID is a big threat for a lot of sector, but maybe for entertainment it is not. It's an opportunity. Okay, so we cannot foresee all those uncontrollable circumstances, but based on historical data, we can make our forecast by saying that, okay, because due to the reason that the management will not change, the same people is going to run the company. Okay, no much changes happening inside the company. So I will say that, okay, the next year performance is going to be improved. Not a lot better, but still going to the positive way. Okay, you can say that. Okay. Okay, given this data, provide any prediction you can make about the future financial performance. Okay, so based on all of your three opinions, I believe you have a good, okay, means you predict the company to be performing well in the future. Okay, increase sales. But what are others factors that will influence or affect the predictions? So now I want you to think of bigger pictures. Okay, not just by this sales number, but other things that will affect. So consider other things. Okay, let's discuss this. Have you have any on your hand already? Okay, try to give more. Maybe I give you another 5 minutes. You think, and what other factor that you need to consider? Not just this sales figure. Okay, think what is inside your profit. Okay, how do you derive at your profit? So what do you need to consider? Okay. And after consider all the financials factor, what other non-financial sector factors that will affect you? Okay. HR, outside world, micros factor or macro factors. So let's try to think another 5 minutes. Then you can give me your ideas. Okay. Okay, Basie, you are back. Are you okay? So you are facing problem with connection.
Yeah, because I'm using my data to connect the laptop
Oh, your house didn't
or
install
Wi-Fi.
or no Wi-Fi?
Yeah, so if incoming call, so my data is very weak.
Then you have enough data for your class because you're not only having this class, right?
Yeah, I can the
Unlimited.
DG will free 1 GB daily for study online one.
Mm. Okay, we already asked question number 2. So we are asking, I'm asking your friends and classmates to think what are those non-financial factors, or besides sales, any others factor that will affect your performance for next week in the future. So I want more opinion from you. We have already discussed based on this number, then what are your predictions forecasts for the future. So now I want a more thorough answers on what others factor that can affect or influence this performance. Okay, we can start now. Okay, we start from Daisy. Do you want to give your opinions on what others a factor that can influence the performance or your forecast?
I think one of the factor is the competition among
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Netflix. Maybe lesser competitor already.
Do you?
So that the Netflix can its
Okay.
sales will be even more in every year.
So your opinion is that Netflix will have lesser competitor in the future.
Yes.
Why you think so?
Maybe most of the people will feel that Netflix maybe provide a better service than others.
Okay, so you think Netflix has a very good service that make customer feel satisfied, and Netflix can gain a lot of market share until he become one of the big player that is so it discourage the new player to enter the market, so he become the 老大, okay, the big one, the big boss in the market. So he will face less competition. Yeah, okay. It may be your opinions. There's no wrong or right because you do not know what happened in the future. It can be one of the possible developments to Netflix. Okay, so yeah. Anything else? So competition. So basically feel less competition in the future because Netflix is going to grow bigger and bigger, become one of the big player. So less competitor, new competitors going to join in. Okay, any other things? Daisy? More? No? Only competitor? You don't need to worry for other things. Okay, no competitor. I'm the big boss.
Means objection.
Okay, objection from Yuan Hao. So what is your objections?
Just now he said, just now the Bessy say the less computer. Yes, I have agreed the computer maybe become lesser, but the other like just now teacher also say that the stolen video by the outsider like the Chinese platform or other, that's also can be the risk or the trick for the Netflix growing their sales, because even though the Netflix is prepare a cheap subscription feed, but not all the family will, or not all the person will willing to pay that. Then that because they are not willing to pay any cost. They're more favorite in the freebie. The freebie case is all normally for all the platform like the Netflix or other. So there's the one of the what's the called the stolen called the stolen video,
Pirated.
pirated already also can be
Free
risk for
source,
the
pirated
Netflix.
sources online.
Yes.
Okay, so for Yuan Hao, he think that due to all those pirated sources, or now we don't use VCD already, okay, pirated sources online available. So it become one of the big threat to Netflix because people now can access to free one. Why should I pay you when I can get free? Okay, so it's really depend on personal's preference. Okay, some people has a principle that okay, I don't like to support those free sources lah. I feel I need to pay for those people working hard behind the screen, so I must buy. Okay, then these people will go and pay Netflix and watch. But I will say this golongan, this population is still not so big comparing to those people that want to watch free sources. Just take one country, it will beat it all, China. So imagine the China populations. So most of the populations or the people inside that still think that pirated is okay, is fine. Okay, even in our country, we are the same. Okay, I myself sometimes will always go to online and search for free movie. Okay. Of course, I will go to the cinema, but if you want to watch online, normally you will go and search because we can get the free one. So we will think that why should I pay? So it become one of the threat to the company. So Netflix have to think lah. Okay, what should they do or how can they turn around these situations? So one of the way that they think can help is they produce their own movie and drama. So then they protect their sources. So it will be less possible for other people to hack into the system. Okay, if you realize sometimes some of the movie you hardly find the pirated until some time after the movie have been released. Okay, but for others movie you can find it really quickly even before it is going to the cinema. So it depends on how powerful the securities of the system trying to protect the movie or the copyright, okay, or the sources of data. Okay, so you have talk about this, the threat of pirated free sources. Okay, then just now Paisy mentioned of less competitions. Okay, what else? We move on to who want to speak first? Jumbo or Sanjita? Come on.
Changes in the streaming market.
Streaming market, yes. Yeah. Yes, Sanjita, you can go on.
Because sometimes when you are into live streaming, they don't spend as much time in the post-production.
Okay.
So I feel that if live streaming are spontaneous, then they can make the content faster for Netflix.
Mm-hmm. So it's like an internals efficiencies thing?
Kind of.
So you means the production team.
Yes.
Okay, how do you improve them? Have you any recommendations? No?
No.
Okay, so you say that the internals management or the production teams efficiencies or their expertise will also affect the performance of this Netflix company. Yes. So if you have more experienced teams or you have more story writers from this team, maybe they have more interesting movie that only available to the subscriber. Okay, you do not know it, maybe they can try this. Okay, and then what else from the internal side? So just now I have said that, okay, if as long as the management team did not change and they still in place the same policy and the same management style, okay, so how they are running the company now is going to continue in the future, say, then I believe the movement of the company is still promising, okay, based on the historical, because people won't change in a day. Okay, so to make a company change in a day, overturn, there must be a big event happening. The whole bunch of management teams is change or something big is happening that affects. So if nothing much is changing inside, then I believe that the performance is still promising in the near future. Okay, any others? Think of the outside, beside competitions and competitors and free source, any others factor, the macro economy happening outside. Yes, anything you want to add, Yuan Hao? Your face look like you are thinking very deep.
Is it the just before the day, the what's the called? The Australia. You say what the Australia case has say what Google, right? Not Facebook. They
What?
want to is it they want to take the Facebook for the feed, right? Is it this case can be affect like the Netflix might be pay for the country who have going to the country, because is it Facebook before the
Means some country is blocking Netflix.
no I think Netflix they can be blocked.
What do you mean? Or you are saying like China, they don't allow Google's
No,
and
because
YouTube?
the Australia have been once the Facebook pay the news feed, I think because they are saying they are the news company have the producing like the newspaper or something, the
media
the
company.
media have been paid for their when they are going to print any news. So the Facebook going into the Australia, this country also must be follow this rule, paying for them. So the Netflix is it if going to be to some country, they want to pay to the country,
Yes,
like
possible. Yes.
yes.
So I
Then
get what you mean.
the country will be reduced the net profits for the Netflix to more growing there after in the future lah. Because if paying the tax or paying the fee for going to some specific country, and not only the some specific country, if they are paid already to specific country, the other does not collect this fee, maybe we'll be following for that. I also want to collect this. And after that, all the country collect for this fee.
Okay. Opportunity to earn revenue and income for the country. Why not? Right?
But the company will be, because company will pay more to the country, there's not too much in hand to more growing in the future lah.
Yes. I got what you mean. I think I can say like some sort of tax imposed. Okay, like Malaysia where impose a very high import duty on the imported car. That is why when we want to buy the imported car, it's always too expensive compare you buy it in overseas. Okay, so
you know why Malaysia person also still going to the overseas car.
okay, even though we love, like we prefer overseas car, the Japanese car, the Korean car, but due to the higher duties import and the tax, then most of the people like we don't afford lah. Okay, we can't afford, or we don't want, we are not willing to spend that money to buy an expensive car. Okay, so we still support. Government still gain a degree of support for the local car. Okay, like me, supporter for my V. Okay, so what Yuan Hao trying to say is that regulations and rules, okay, imposed by a specific country or particular countries, yeah, that is possible to happen. For example, just think of China lah, okay? So the countries like to close their what you mean, close their door for outside media or the social media platform. So they don't allow their people, residents, to use Facebook, YouTube, Google's, but the people will try to get away and use VPN to actually log into Facebook. Okay, so it might be possible that the country want to lock up, okay, the information sources. Okay, so they block this Netflix, or they feel like Netflix produce too many entertainments that is not up to the value of the country. Okay, maybe Islamic countries or others, or what religions factor that the country consider to block Netflix. Okay, it can be one of the possibles. Then all those rules or regulation might cause loss to Netflix, or they need to pay a high amount of tax or import duty or anything imposed to them to actually enter the new markets. So yes, it become a threat. Okay, then maybe Netflix have to spend more in the expenses. Okay, still maybe the sales still a lot, but because of expenses increase, the profit reduce. Okay, so remember, sales doesn't always equal to the performance of profit. Okay, just now we just look into the sales side. Yes, we have more subscribers, we have more subscription. That it does not necessarily tell you that the company is making big profit. Okay, even the sales increase 30%, the profit might be just increased 10%, because we have to consider the expenses. So one of the expenses, yeah, regulations, tax. Okay, so this tax is very high, then the expenses become high. So even the sales is high, the profit can be small. Okay, so expenses. Okay, any others? Regulations, competitions, some more? Jumbo, anything to add? Add in, like support. Wah, Sanjita, find a place more comfortable. Anything? Only competition and regulation and tax? There must be many factors. Think macro. What you learn in macroeconomy.
Politics.
Politics. Okay, how politics can affect?
One day, our Perdana Menteri say the Netflix cannot go into our country.
Okay, it's like related to the regulation just now. You means our politics don't like this Netflix, so they force or they put some pressure on the regulations side. Okay,
Yeah.
the law enforcement department. Okay, that's the ministry. Okay, then they have to impose some duty or tax on this company. Okay, political preference. Yeah, it might be. Okay, so
Sure.
our prime minister
Before-
don't like. Or the
Yes.
political have a relationship, okay, a special friendship with Netflix. Then Netflix become one of the main provider of movie. Okay, yeah, there's no one way of doing, many factors. Okay, so yeah, politics. Anything else?
Is it before the day our our government have said there's the VPN in our country. Is it this can be charged?
When did you heard this?
I-
I'm not
okay.
sure. I'm not sure I heard of this or not. But VPN, do you use VPNs often? Any one of you use VPN often, or do you know what is a VPN?
Yes, I know.
Okay, what
I
use
I
for?
using it for that's for the jumping internet station. When you in a country, this country have block, then you using the VPN, you can try to go into other not the other to other country to using the unlock some.
Okay, so you use it when you go to, only when you travel.
Not to go to travel. That's inside the country already can be used.
For
That is
example,
only
what you use VPN for now?
when
Yeah.
I use the VPN because when sometimes I'm downloading something, then downloading will be the link will be back. If you stop the download and you continue, this maybe will be crowd the downloading apps or downloading file. But if using that VPN, you're going to jump the step to the other country, your link will be say waiting for the connection. After that, you're going to other country the connection. This country maybe have better downloading provider the
Oh,
speed.
okay,
Then
okay.
we have been increasing.
So
Or sometimes have some going to some movie station, the internet movie, that's also have been blocked by Malaysia. I don't know why they are blocked. Maybe sometimes because there's some main channel in the Malaysia lah. That's sometimes they will cannot go into some website also can be not going. Then you can go into jump to outside to look out something like the China let's say lah using VPN to log in the Facebook.
yeah, it's a normal norm there.
Yes.
So I caught you. You use VPN to download movie, huh, from China.
Actually, going to download from China, no need. China actually no block outside to inside. They are block inside to outside.
But you are trying to increase the speed of download, right?
Actually not increase because of because my connection the downloads sometimes is break. I don't know why. They are downloading, then the time is going to unlimited. Then I go to jump to other country to continue download. Then I get you go to jump to other, then you jump back also can continue your download. I don't know why.
Maybe because of the IP address.
Mm.
That show you your IP address is not so strong. That why your download things
Yes.
the process is not smooth. Okay, so VPN is like what your house say. It help you to jump. Okay, so it enable you to be in a overseas country without the needs to be physically be there. Okay, so it will create a identity or IP address that you are trying to connect the internet from a place. For example, those resident in China, the Chinese people, because they are not allowed to connect Facebook, YouTube, Google, but you still can access those websites by installing a VPN into your mobile phone, and then you can choose the location that you want to browse those websites. So you can choose you are from US, then your okay is a like very smart system. Okay, the VPN you will create a connection to Facebook and YouTube as if you are in US. Okay, then they cannot block you. So this is what Yuan Hao say about VPN. Okay, so maybe possible. So means the VPNs will increase or affect the business of Netflix. How do this VPN affect Netflix?
For
Okay.
some country cannot go into Netflix.
Oh, okay. So far, do you know any country that doesn't allow Netflix?
I don't know. I go to check first.
I didn't know that lah. I think Netflix is quite okay lah. Not like YouTube. Okay, but YouTube is one of the biggest, I can say, biggest competitor to Netflix, providing free videos. Okay, and I feel that YouTube now, they can't even already control all the movies lah. I can find some free movie in YouTube. Okay, even some new movie release I can find in YouTube. They can't beat the speed of the uploaders to upload the new video. Okay, they will block after that, but you still can find. Okay, this is a challenge for YouTube. Okay, any others reason? Okay, coverage of network. I will say another. I think this is an opportunity lah, or good news for Netflix because now increasing and more places that will be covered by network. So it means people are connected to Wi-Fi easier than last time. Okay? And the speed is faster comparing to last time. Now we are expecting 5G soon. So as long as the network is improving and have more developed network coverage, okay, and also the place for coverage increase, okay, the location, the demographic, then I think this is still a very good news for Netflix because more people are going to be able to access to internet. Okay. Yeah, coverage, okay, the developments of network, okay, IT, the internet, the 5G, okay. So this is a factor also affecting the performance of Netflix. Ada lagi?
Yes, I found. That
Yeah.
is three country does not have Netflix.
Yeah, yes.
The first, China.
Oh, China again.
China, not Korea. The
Not of
Chaoxian.
Korea, Chaoxian. Yes.
They block anything lah. Korea. And the last is the Syria.
Syria. Oh, okay. But I think that one also like a war country, always having war.
I think one of the reasons is because the US fight for them, right? The Syria. Yes. The US having the war with the Syria, then Syria, because of Netflix is coming from the Syria and not coming from the US. So they block them.
Okay.
You fight for me, I support you.
Political relations are political reason. Okay, so they block Netflix. Okay, good. So 3 countries blocking Netflix. So then maybe Netflix is trying to figure out how can I go into China, or I set up a new company, okay, that can manage to like build rapport and relation with China governments maybe, or they need some people, important person from the country to have connections. Okay, yeah. So I'm waiting to see whether Netflix can do it or not. Okay, China is a big country. Market is big, but
They will like similar like the Facebook trying to going to the China.
Yeah. So
is it the Facebook success going to?
No.
Not yet, right?
Okay. So it doesn't make any difference lah, because the Chinese people still playing Facebook a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of Chinese people already like moving out of the country. So not much different lah, but still a lot of like those locals living in the rural areas, the villages, still a lot of people not covered by network. Okay, no Wi-Fi. Okay, doesn't know about Netflix because China is too big lah. Okay, too big. The gap of the educated persons and the poor, the low sections peoples are very big. The gap is big. Okay. Okay. Any other information you want to support or provide to this? Okay, movie industry. What do you say? What you can say about movie industry? The industry of entertainment. Any threat or opportunity for Netflix? So
sign some contract with them,
contract,
like contract to
joint venture with
hacking.
Disney.
Mm.
Okay, can? Why not? Okay, find a contract. Okay, sign a contract with one of the big movie production. Okay, I know Disney, Pixar. Okay, any others? Okay, Hollywood, Bollywood. Okay, sign contract with them. So all the movie that produced is automatically become the copyright or become one of the movie inside Netflix. So they no need to like go and negotiate price lah, whatever lah, no need. Okay, it become a long term. So it provides offer more options and choice for the audience, okay, for their subscriber. Yes. So movie industry, it become also one of the factor what happening in the industry. Okay. Or are people love to watch movie or other entertainment or just shows or talking show or for let's say now we have one just came out social media. What do you call it? We have one now very popular one. Everybody trying to play, and it's not like open Facebook. You can register. You need invitations. What is that called already?
To know.
If you heard of podcast, okay, podcast is like a radio. So now people don't like to watch anymore. They start to listens to show. So is that an opportunity for Netflix or a track? Okay. So it's a changes of the industry and the people's preferences. So now because we are too busy working with life and we have our own things to do, so we don't have a lot of time to actually sit down and watch a movie. So people now choose to listen only to the show. Okay, so broadcast is coming up. Okay, so how about Netflix? Okay, so this one is like you need to consider a lot of factor lah. Okay, any more? If no, then we close for this question. Okay, so when you have this kind of question, is actually very fun because there is no one exact answer. Okay, you can play around with the answer as long as it makes sense and reasonable. Okay, don't tell any non-logical answer. For example, the aliens come in. That one not make sense lah. Okay, so this kind of question is very fun. Okay, it's also not hard to answer as long as you think further. Okay, oh okay, it can one of the reason. Okay, so you have the question for remember this one discussed in the classroom, but you still need to submit your own answer okay, later I will open the tutorial submissions. So I let you to submit until this weekend. Okay, weekend Sunday. Okay, I put Sunday 5 o'clock. So you have time to complete this answer and submit it group. Okay, I will take it as group enough. So you submit by group at the same, like you submit your presentations to the PLP. Okay, for next week, yesterday I already sent you these tutorial questions. So for presentations, you only do question number 1. Okay, Then the question number 2, I will leave it to the Wednesday tutorial when we will discuss in the class. So because I consider for you, I be considerate. I think that, okay, 1 day to complete a presentation maybe is a bit rush for you. So on Tuesday you present, but on Wednesday we will discuss in the classroom. Okay, so you go back and try to do this. Okay, I give you 2 minutes and 3 minutes. You read the question and ask if you don't understand anything now. Okay, read question number 1 for tutorial 3 and raise any question now if you don't understand. Okay, go ahead. I saw Sanjita dog. Is that a puppy?
Yes.
Any question? No question? No question. Understand. So it's kind of an open question. Okay. So you need to think a lot of possible reason or possible way to help this company or AH to motivate the customer to sign up for their program, royalty program, some kind of ways of retain customer. So, okay, so if no question, then I will expecting your presentation next week. So full answer in Word format and then your presentation point form in PowerPoint. Okay, then see you on next Tuesdays and your submission for today tutorial latest by Sunday, 5 p.m. Okay, see you guys. Have a good week ahead.
Okay, bye.
Bye.